Live from the Orion Shine Studios, located behind the train tracks off West 4th Avenue, it's time once again for the Brony Book Club with Samuel, Pav's not here, Roy, and our special guest, First Lord of Alera, Claudius Caesar.
Thank you for pronouncing that correctly. Almost nobody gets that right the first time.
You don't? Oh, I guess people don't know their Rome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, then. For those of you who do not know, Claudius Caesar is the author of Ditsy Doo's Dismally Derpy Day, which is a mouthful.
I'm actually rather impressed that you said that as fast as you did.
Hey, it's what I do.
And you're not the one with the speech impediment.
And this week we'll be discussing the one and the only, the incomparable Derpy Hooves, the largest meme, not only of our fandom, but of any fandom in the last couple of years, I'd say.
Quite possibly.
Our meme's so big it got into the actual show.
Well, actually, I was actually about to say that. Now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened.
But I talk faster than you.
Yeah, well, jerk.
Oh, all right then. As it happens every week, we will interview our special guest, Claudius, first. Mr. Claudius, are you ready for these questions?
Ready as I'm going to be.
All right. First one. What is your favorite tag?
In terms of story content, you mean?
Yes.
That is a tough choice. Probably depends on my mood, but I think I'd go with adventure, honestly. One of the coolest fics that I've encountered is the Mystara's Little Ponies Friendship is Adventuring, which basically drops Equestria right into the middle of a D&D campaign world and throws the ponies up against all kinds of different D&D adventuring tropes. And I've got an in-progress adventure-style fic of my own that I'm working on. And depending on my mood, I can definitely go for the cute stories and the shipping. Definitely, if it's reasonably well done shipping. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
but seeing the ponies get thrown into some kind of desperate situation where it's like, oh, horse apples, how are we going to get out of this? I love reading that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I think when the show started, I was I mention often how I didn't like adventure fics that much, and I think that was because at the time, all the ones I'd run into were those huge epic length, and not only the huge epic length, I noticed I was talking to another author, we'll talk about later, we were talking about it, and I noticed, is it just me, is there a glut of adventure fics that are one pony gets injured, and another group of the main six go off on this huge epic quest in order to help them? Like, through distant lands and stuff. Because I've seen at least 10 adventure fics like that.
Really?
And I don't think the premise is bad on its own, but when I keep seeing them and I keep starting to read them and getting bored, I'm just less and less interested every time. Because I don't think there's that... It's a framework that you can build upon, but I don't think it's as good a framework as some other stories have. So, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I think every genre is going to have cliches that it's easy to fall back onto. But I think with adventure in particular, I think the risk there is that a lot of us have been reading or watching adventure stories without ponies for years before getting into the show. So we're more overexposed to those cliches than we are the standard cliches of cute or pastoral stories or shipping stories. Like if you haven't read a lot of romance novels, for example, you're probably not going to be well versed in shipping cliches. So I think every genre is going to have that problem, but it's more obvious with adventure.
Yeah, I probably agree. Though, yes, like I'm saying, my Pain's Change is becoming one of my favorites. It's become my favorite to write, personally, because I think I like doing... I'm heavily influenced by Jim Butcher, and the only way you can write like him is if you write adventure,
Yeah, my love for Jim Butcher is undying.
Yes! Sam is on small favor at the moment.
Yes.
Oh,
so no spoilers past it.
I still need to get through Ghost Story myself.
Oh.
But have you read the Dresden Files crossover fix by...
Dresden Phillies? Super Diver was our second guest ever.
Right.
First one I was on the show for.
Yes, and first fic Sam had to read for the show, and it's how he got into Dresden Files.
Yeah, I loved it so much I really wanted to read the books.
So do you keep up with False Masks?
Okay. False Masks, I think I might be a couple chapters behind. I'm kind of behind on reading a lot of fanfic, unfortunately, just because I've had some real life complications. I was moving to a different state, starting a new job, so I haven't had as much time. But I am loving it.
He actually has a southern accent.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were like, "Are you Jim Butcher?" And they started talking. We're like, "No, you're not Jim Butcher."
Right. Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory that Psychic Scuba Diver is actually like an alias of Jim Butcher because just the stories are just that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right. So where were we?
Oh, next question. What is your least favorite tag? Not necessarily what you say is the worst, just what's your least favorite?
Least favorite would be Grimdark. I really don't feel like it meshes well with ponies, at least not in a way that I enjoy. I've heard incredible things about Fallout Equestria, but I've been incredibly reluctant to actually get into it just because of how dark it sounds like it is. And I realize this may sound a bit hypocritical considering the antagonist of the adventure fic I'm currently in progress and that I mentioned earlier. The antagonist of that story is Cthulhu.
Oh, wow.
But that's really more of an adventure fic with the idea of horror in the style of those stories, which actually exist in that universe, in that story, are kind of an overly dark exaggeration of the truth, and they're starting to realize that there is hope and that this can be defeated, and it's not necessarily, the end of the world. So it's got some dark themes. I feel like I'm unfairly chilling my own stories here, but I'm trying to make a point. I was going for some dark-ish themes, but keeping a very clear undercurrent of hope. And when stories don't have that, or if the hope is really hard to see, I just have a really hard time enjoying it. It's the same reason. It's the same reason I am never in my life going to read or watch The Road, because I can't really deal with that even when there's not ponies involved.
I'm going to give it a chance, but everything I've seen is not something I'm kind of similar. I don't enjoy Grimdark in general. But the odd thing is me and Sam love Fallout Equestria. And I would say, basically you described that hope being what you need. I would say Fallout Equestria definitely has that.
Amen to that.
It is, I kind of come back to this. It's the Madoka Magica of My Little Pony fics. It's, man, it's so dark. And then you're like, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I have not actually seen that series, so that isn't a comparison that helps me much.
Okay.
But,
recommend it if you get a chance. The point being that Fallout Equestria is it is about finding hope. And oftentimes it is about finding hope in places where it's really hard to find it, but it is always there, and it's always working toward it. So recommend it if you are okay with reading something for the next long while. It's so good.
I'm not making promises, but I might give it a shot.
Well, Sam's job will be done if that happens.
Yep, pretty much. That's, like I said, easily my favorite fic, so I really loved it.
When I feel up to it, I'll check out the first chapter and see how far I get.
Okay.
That works.
All right, so next question. What is your favorite part of Ditsy Doo's Dismally Derpy Day?
Ooh,
Or favorite aspect of it, where not necessarily like a part of the story.
Scene, yeah. What do you say?
So you mean like a thematic element rather than a particular moment or scene?
Yeah.
Well, not even just a thematic element, like maybe how you did the dialogue, or maybe how the characters turned out,
or maybe a particular scene if you want. You know,
it could be
your favorite thing about the fic.
I think it would probably be the interaction between Ditzy and Big Macintosh.
Mm.
That was pretty fun to write. I'm kind of proud about some of the background building I came up with for the character, like coming up with the story behind both the nickname and the cutie mark and special talent.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
In fact, part of that was inspired by a really adorable piece of fan art I saw of Ditzy chasing a butterfly. So I basically described that event in the scene where she's walking the path to Fluttershy's house, and worked into that the description of how she perceives the air currents. So as far as developing the character, I'm particularly proud of coming up with those. But for the story, I really like the interaction between her and Big Mac, because she's this kind of socially awkward, not kind of perceptive about other ponies, kind of, a little dorky, and, I say this with help, because honestly, there's a fair bit of myself written into that portrayal of Ditzy. And, so she's just kind of just sort of a little clueless and not very perceptive about other ponies, and really kind of socially awkward. And then there's Big Mac, who's this big, strong hunk. He's the total strong silent type, and she looks at him and just thinks, "Oh yeah." But he's also kind of shy and a little awkward, and not very good about being direct about his interest. And they both sort of kind of fumble around each other sort of adorably. And I just kind of liked how that all came out, and especially with him just finally going, "All right, that is enough. You people need to just need to shut up and be quiet and give her the rest he needs." And it was like, just totally just going into guardian form there. I like her. You're freaking her out. That's gonna stop. Actually, if you don't mind me giving two answers to this question.
No problem.
This was something that came up sort of after the fact in the comments I was seeing on Equestria Daily. This was before I'd actually joined Film Fiction and started putting my stories there. At the time, I was just hosting the story on Google Docs. And I mentioned that the part of my intent was, I was sort of sick of seeing...
What was Claudius sick of seeing? Why am I talking to you a week after I recorded this footage? Well, the answer is simple. YouTube on this account will not allow me to upload more than 15 minutes of footage. Therefore, it has been posted to our new account, which is found in the description. Please click there to see the rest of the episode. Thank you.